All right, we are now live. Hola, ¿cómo estás, everyone?
Hola, hola.
Not our usual day. We couldn't do it to Sunday, so we're doing this today, Tuesday. Still
And
not
definitely a
like
different energy
too
with it.
much news, but we got some stuff. All right, so I guess we'll get started. We got Batman, the Doom that came to Gotham trailer. I still don't know if we got a date. I don't think I saw a date on the trailer.
I did not see a date, but I think we're supposed to already know when it comes out. I mean, it feels weird that at this point, with all this animation done, there's no date. But Batman, the Doom.
Oh, here it is. Digital DVD and Blu-ray, 28th of March.
And of course, they just showed me the book that it's about. All right, never mind.
It's about. I didn't even know it was based on a book.
Yeah, it's a book that came out in 2015.
Okay. Well, it's an Elseworld story of Batman. Um, a lot of occult stuff, honestly. Who's this girl? Is this Cassandra Cain?
And probably not, right?
I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
probably Talia.
No, because we see Talia, and the girl that Batman's with is different, right? A little bit younger.
Oh, yeah. No, I really don't know, actually. Um, the only people I really recognized was like Oliver Queen and them.
Yeah,
And
Oliver Queen. Oh, we see Croc. I'm not surprised we see Oliver Queen and not like Azrael as the church guy.
yeah, actually,
Oh, there's Jason Blood and Etrigan. Here we go. I'll show you this person. Screen share,
I
present.
say it's like I'm not recognizing.
This girl.
It could be Cassandra.
I was like, maybe it's Cassandra. I don't know who else this would be. Because if I go back, this is supposed to be Talia, right?
I don't know.
Because I think she mentions her father, the head of the demon.
It's weird how excited I am to watch this.
It looks fun. I love
It
when they
looks
do like Elseworld stories. Like they could definitely do this with the DC universe.
This seems very fun, and if I like the movie enough, I'll probably go back and buy the book.
I was just wondering who this person is. Like, I think it's Cassandra Cain, but like, I don't have anything to go off this besides it looks like a young girl.
That would be the safe answer. That is Cassandra Cain. Yeah, it would be the same. I mean, I can't think of a lot of young Asian women in the Batman series. So
But yeah, we see a lot of people. Killer Croc. We saw Jason Blood. We saw, I think Talia. I don't know who else we saw, but I think I'm excited. I'll watch it when it comes out in March.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this.
All right, where are we on the DC fans divide on whether Jason Momoa should stay on as DCU's Aquaman or leave the role behind to play Lobo,
I
the main man himself?
I feel like he would be a better Lobo personally.
I mean,
Not
he
that
doesn't play a
he's
bad Aquaman, but like
yeah, I
I'm
don't think
not like
he's
a diehard fan of his Aquaman. Like, no, he stays Aquaman. Like, he could say Aquaman. He could be the main man. He could do both. Like, it's Lobo requires a lot of makeup. Maybe you won't notice him.
I yeah. I I like his Aquaman. I don't think it's a bad Aquaman at all, but I think we need a different Aquaman than the one we have. Personally, I don't think we've had a really decent representation of Aquaman in a while. But I think I feel like for Jason Momoa himself, I feel like Lobo is just like a better role for him.
I think Lobo would be a great role for him. He does a good Aquaman, but like I'm not gonna say he has to stay Aquaman in this new universe that we're doing. He could stay Aquaman. That'll be fine. I'll be happy. He could be Lobo. I'll be happy. I'll be fine. He could honestly play both. I don't think there's a big deal about an actor playing two roles in the universe
That would be interesting. But
because it's
yeah,
not like I don't know. I guess you'll notice, but like they don't look the same, and they they could do like have funny moments if they ever have a scene together.
yeah, do a little Spider-Man point.
Yeah, because like let's be honest, I'm fairly certain Marvel has recasted people in different roles before,
Uh,
or use the same people in some way.
I can't actually think of any roles besides maybe Doctor Strange playing other Doctor Stranges.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, I guess technically we see James Gunn brother play a lot of characters because I think he does the motion capture for Groot and Rocket Raccoon, and then he plays one of the Ravengers on the ship.
Oh, and Taika Waititi, right? He plays
Korg.
Korg, and then the one,
Does he play the Mantis thing too, or something?
the thing from Nowhere, the guy from Nowhere.
Oh,
He's that one guy. So I guess that's him playing two roles. I don't know. I don't
it happens. I don't think it's a big deal.
know. Yeah, well, you know. And at this point, I think he should play. He shouldn't be Aquaman just because, like, if he stays as Aquaman, the people who can't let go of the Snyderverse were just gonna be in arms forever. You took our Aquaman! Ah!
I mean, they're already up in arms with some of the stuff that's staying or going because I think, because obviously I think we're keeping Peacemaker. We're keeping our suit Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I think he said.
Did he say that? I don't recall seeing that.
I don't know. I'm assuming we're keeping his wife.
Which, and in all honesty, the stuff from Peacemaker, and the Suicide Squad is like, in a way, so far removed from the main Snyderverse stuff. You could probably do that, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't make that big a deal.
Well, moving on. How we feel about Michael Cudlitz being casted as Lex Luthor in season 3 of Superman and Lois?
It's just so funny to me, just because I remember his character from The Walking Dead.
Okay, that's honestly the only thing I know him from. I think.
Exactly. It just feels like a very like two different characters, but I mean, I liked him in The Walking Dead, so and Superman Lois has yet to disappoint me. So
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we learned in season 2 this is a very different Earth from the Supergirl's Earth, who has a Lex Luthor already.
you know, but a shout outs to the actors minus one who've been playing Lex Luthor. They've done a great job, like everything. The one in Titans, the one from Supergirl, uh, obviously the one from Smallville. It's a good job. Good
Okay.
Lexus. Good Lexus.
Can we say good job to Gotham Knights too? Because we got a trailer for that.
I don't think I watched that trailer actually. I'll be honest with you. I think I've like abandoned that show already in my mind.
I don't know if I watched it or it wasn't anything new. I think if I did watch it, I don't think I saw anything new in it.
I think the only thing I saw was a still. I feel like we may have even already talked about that, but like I saw a still of it's like Batman laying down dead, and he's in like a his Bruce Wayne suit, but he has the Batman cowl on.
Yeah, he's like in like the worst disguise ever or something. I don't know what was he wearing.
I'm gonna forever hope that it's just that he was killed as Bruce Wayne, and the villain revealed it to be Batman by putting the cowl on him. But I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I still don't. I'm kind of over this whole premise of like destroying Batman for the sake of your own,
Uh,
whatever.
Are we gonna watch it?
I watched like the first two episodes. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay,
There's a
maybe this will be
diamond
your
in the
new
rough somewhere.
Titans. It'll be your new hate watch.
Maybe, maybe. When does Titans come back? I need that in my life.
I think it comes back in March.
I was actually enjoying this season of Titans. It was actually more fun.
Well, how fun is The Last of Us? Because apparently it's the second biggest premiere in over a decade for HBO.
So I never played the games, but from what I hear, very fantastic uh, adaptation, very true to the games. But beyond that, just as a standalone, ooh, that is a masterpiece.
I've also never played the games, so I have no nostalgia or anything to it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There may be some problems I have with the science I was kind of confused about, but we can
That's
talk
real
about that more
science.
into our review of the show.
But
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I will say the camera work and stuff is it's up there. But yeah, more so when we actually get to talking about The Last of Us. But it definitely deserves that big HBO Max, and it's not that surprising that it is. When The Last of Us came out, it was like a super huge PlayStation game.
we just gotta remember in this same week, I think Velma got the most watched HBO Max animated show, while Last of Us was the second biggest premiere for HBO.
There's like one other show on HBO Max that's animated though, or like two.
And I'm upset that it lost to Velma because Harley Quinn deserves a lot more than that.
Yeah, that is the hate watching fault. But I'm sure like the views will drop down after people are just kind of like tired of watching it. The only issue is that Be Cool Scooby Doo, because I ended up watching the first two episodes of Velma.
Oh, I didn't. I'm not gonna encourage HBO's decision.
Well, amongst all things, it's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's also still horrible. Uh, and it just makes me miss Be Cool Scooby Doo because that was actually a generally good Scooby Doo show that people didn't give a chance because the artwork was weird.
Okay. I have heard people say if it wasn't connected to the IP Scooby Doo, it would be a mediocre show.
I think it would still be terrible.
Okay, so not even mediocre, it'd just still be terrible,
I
even
think it
if it
would
didn't
still
have
be a
anything to
bad
do with
show.
Scooby Doo and offend us in that way.
Like, yeah, you could take if you take away the Scooby Doo IP, it would feel less of like a slap to the face, but it still wouldn't be that good of a show. I mean, the thing the show has for it is that I will admit the animation is gorgeous. Like when like stuff is happening and you see it, it's like very flowy. It very captures you. After that, it's just whatever. A lot of the comedy it it feels like cookie cutter, or yeah, so you get cookie cutter comedy, and then you'll also get jokes that they don't let breathe. Like they'll be making a joke and then it's flip to the next joke, 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 and then it, in a weird way, it's like it's trying to be like a Family Guy type show, but at the same time not. So in terms of comedy, that's just a mess. That's basically it. And they did my boy Shaggy dirty. I'll never forget people who do my boy Shaggy. I don't care if you call him Norval, nothing.
Not a fan of Norval?
No, voice acting is actually good though.
Okay.
Uh, but no, not a fan of Norval. He's not the worst. If the show was just about him, honestly, it'd probably be a pretty interesting show. Funny enough, I'm like half a fan of Daphne. I still think I prefer the Be Cool Scooby Doo Daphne
I don't even think I've seen any clips of Daphne. I've seen clips of Norval. I've seen clips of Velma. I've seen clips of apparently Fred's Muslim.
I did not see anything about Fred being Muslim. I'm gonna assume that was in episode 3, which I refused to
Maybe
watch.
I saw a clip. He's like in prison, and like someone came to visit him. It was like he was talking about he was I don't forget what he was doing.
Don't like how they did Fred. I feel like the thing that, especially with the Scooby Doo IP, like one of the most important thing to like deal with in this series is that they're all supposed to be friends who generally like care about each other. So like the kind of fact that they're just kind of using Fred as like a punching bag to like just throw out and be there, and then write purposely as like a terrible person is just kind of like, ugh. I know. Fred, it's like the easy. Fred is the easy target, But like, come on now, it's like we don't have to make him a piece of shit. You could have picked like any other random ass character you're freelance writing anyways into the series to be a piece of shit. It didn't have to be Fred. That's me personally.
Okay. Well,
And
moving
like,
on.
yeah, go ahead.
We got a trailer for The Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, what can I say? It's Mando. I'll watch it.
You'll watch it. We have a lot of fans on the internet confused on how Grogu and the Mandalorian are back together, and people are just like, "Did no one watch the Book of Boba Fett?"
I wouldn't be surprised if people got halfway through the Book of Boba Fett and then just got bored. So, it's surprising, but it's also not that surprising. I don't think that many people finished the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, I have not watched Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, so I didn't even know Grogu was not with the Mandalorian anymore. So I was just like, he was not with them? What? What? What?
Just briefly.
All right. In other news, Disney has announced Tron Ares is in the works, with Jared Leto set to star and Joaquin Roning set to direct. I probably butchered that name.
I don't know anything about Tron, minus that they have glowing motorcycles. I have never seen the Tron movies. I have like absolutely no knowledge on Tron. I just know that it is a subject of a lot of memes, and
Have you ever
people
played like
really
those
like
kind of
it.
games though, with like two people going on with like a wall of light behind them, and you're trying to make the other person crash?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, you have enough knowledge then if you've ever played that game.
Well, it sounds very straightforward to me. I don't know if the original movies were good or not. I don't know anything actually, but if that's all it is, you know what? Hey, power to them. I think it's hard to go bad, and I think you know what? Let Jared Leto have whatever that is. You know?
I'm just like, why are we still hiring Jared Leto? Has he done any good movies?
Hey, you never know. This could be the best Tron movie of all time. Why are movies so uninspired these days? Like, what? Like, people aren't. You know what? I take that back. We're just not giving hype to the correct movies. That's what it is. Because I saw one of the best movies of all time, and it came out like either this year or last year.
Was it Puss in Boots?
No, no. The Menu.
Okay, I haven't watched The Menu yet.
I would highly recommend it.
Okay, well, and original IP news: Avatar: The Way of Water has become the 6th highest grossing film of all time, beating Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I know that put a salt in some people's wounds. I know that hurt. That hurt. Um, but it's not really that surprising.
And domestically, its box office numbers are not that great, honestly, but it's doing amazing internationally.
Again, it's even still, it's not that surprising in terms of like a movie. At least I want to say outside of the U.S., if you can make a movie look incredible, it's gonna it's gonna be well received.
And I do want to also preface this: this is like one of the few movies that have aired in China from the U.S. since the pandemic, I believe.
And honestly, I've never heard a bad review about the movie. I've heard arguments against the movie, but I've never heard a bad review about the actual movie. So
Okay, so yeah, Marvel movies are finally returning to China after 4 years. So China hasn't had a Marvel movie in 4 years, and they're gonna have the first one next month with Ant-Man and Black Panther 2. They're both come out next month in China.
so we'll see how they do. I still don't think they'll reach like the 2 billion mark like that. Maybe Black Panther, but I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. China's like a China makes up almost half of the film market, I believe, not nowadays.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah. So it definitely hurts them. It definitely hurts studios when they don't release a movie there. Like 4 years without a single Marvel movie. So I don't think they got a Marvel movie since like Endgame. Then, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably Endgame, or I dare I say not even Endgame, maybe just Infinity War.
Maybe.
But hey, we'll see. We'll see. Uh, like I said, I don't know if it'll help like more of the single person move like Infinity War. Yeah, that was going to be huge. So I don't know if it'll help like the other movies like that. Maybe it would have helped No Way Home a lot. Um, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, we got a teaser trailer for Invincible season 2.
I loved it because the animation looks so like good and upgraded and everything, and then I hated it because I was like, I really hate announcements about announcements.
I also hate teaser trailer. They're just sitting at like what's his name? Mark's job, the burger place, eating a burger, just like talking about everything that's gone on, when they're gonna come back. Like Mark's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, come on, I need a date. I need to know when to look forward to.
Late 2023, I
Yeah.
guess it's the date.
But we also got a trailer for Dungeons and Dragons. No Honor Among Thieves? Is that what it's called?
I'm
Honor
feeling
Among Thieves. Not
I
No Honor Among
I'm
Thieves.
like a little torn. So the movie in itself, it looks good for the most part. But it also is giving me a lot of like Marvel movie vibes. Like they were like, oh, the best way to make this movie work is to make it like a Marvel movie. So I'm kind of like, okay, but I mean, we'll see. It looks fun. It looks like a fun movie. I'm gonna watch it. Um, and like, it's not like I hate all Marvel movies, or I don't even really hate Marvel movies. But I'm just kind of over the quippy banter for a while.
Well, how are we feeling about Violent Night 2 in the works?
I haven't seen the first one, but I know that I would enjoy both, so it
I
doesn't
have
really
not seen
matter.
the first one. I don't know how well the first one did, but apparently it's did enough for them to do a second one, I guess.
Oh, the first one did great.
Oh, it did?
It was
Okay.
very well received.
Like, I don't remember hearing anything about it, so I was like, I don't even know how it did.
But yeah, it's my kind of movie. I'll enjoy the first one, and I'll probably enjoy the second one.
Well, and probably the greatest movie to ever be thought of by humanity in all of existence. Like, we have no way of making a better movie. We got the trailer for 2025 Armageddon.
Oh, actually,
So this is an Asylum movie. Asylum does a lot of like horror movie stuff or sci-fi movie stuff. And this is just like the culmination of a lot of their works. We're getting all their monsters in one movie.
I don't even know if I can call that horror. I think it was just its own genre at this point.
And
I'm
there's a
excited for it though.
and
The trailer
there's
looks
a
fun.
line in there where like the army people are talking about the monsters, and like these are all monsters from a movie studio called Asylum. Here are all the information we got from their movies. So like the Asylum movies exist in this universe, and now the monsters from that movie are attacking.
It's beautiful. I love it.
We see a lot of things in here. I think we see Sharktopus. I think we see uh the Piranodon. We see uh Sharknado in here.
I love it when people do interesting things with movies like this.
I'm excited. This is gonna be the best
It's
thing
like,
to ever
oh,
happen.
why release another Sharknado when we can release all of them?
All of our movie monsters get a movie.
Why do it one at a time when we could do all at once? I love it.
So
No,
yeah,
I love it. It's very fun. It's
no,
gonna be a
maybe if
fun
we
movie.
get Velocipaster in this,
Is that an asylum film? I don't
I
even
don't
know.
think it's an asylum film. I think that was just like some a small like 2-person team or something, like some student films. I can't believe that was an asylum film. But why not? Why not give them a chance? We're getting 2025 Armageddon. Welcome to the multiverse. In tragic news, U.S. Customs allegedly destroyed a sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow valued at $10,500.
That's freaking hilarious. It's terrible, but it's hilarious. And when that happened, I'm sure they were like, "Oh, it's probably nothing. It's not a big deal." And then now they're like, "Oh,
Well,
wow."
probably not the biggest price tag of something they've ever had to like reimburse for breaking, honestly. But
Yeah, it probably still bothered them.
yeah. But that makes up the news of the week. All right, ready to talk about The Last of Us?
I am. I'm excited.
All right. Hello, everyone. It's me, Haxley, here. Today I'm joined by The Last of Hef. And today we're talking about The Last of Us, now premiering over on HBO Max. All right, so where should we stop? So neither of us have played the video game, so I guess we'll start there.
Yeah, I've never played the Last of Us games. I actually just honestly thought it was some normal zombie shit. But I've always heard good praises of it. And since this is apparently an extremely faithful adaptation of the series, I have to say I can understand why it's so well received for PlayStation people. Um,
So it kind of just strikes home that if you stick to the source material, you're all good. So Netflix, with your One Piece thing, make sure you stick to the source material. With your Avatar project, stick with the source material.
it's like once you already have a well written story in the source material, there's not much you got to do but find a way to translate it into movies. You don't really need to make major changes. So I've noticed a lot of these companies, they're like, oh, we got to add some pizzazz to it. No, you don't.
Okay.
But
So I do want to set this off. We get kind of introduced with what's going on with the interview with the scientists, and they're talking about infections that can maybe doom humanity. One of them brings up fungus and how right now most fungus can't live inside the human body, but maybe it just takes like them to be more resilient by a couple more degrees, and this could be brought upon by climate change making the planet warmer by a few degrees. So they have to adapt, and by adapting to a warmer Earth, they adapt to a warmer body like humans, and it could start some cataclysm.
and that's real science, by the way, actually.
Yeah, that is real science. The Earth is warming. It's understandable that they might be able to move to another host, but it gets a little bit crazier later on. I don't know if it works that way.
Oh yeah.
Because we also get introduced in the news after that about some like flour problem productions at a mill in Jakarta, I think, which is the real life world's like number one flour mill.
I didn't even know that.
And throughout the whole episode, we kind of just see them kind of tease Flower. Like when they're about to go to school, the neighbors offer them some biscuits. Joel says no thanks because he's on the Atkins diet, so he can't have, I guess, gluten or anything like that. Later after school, Sarah goes over to her neighbor's house. The neighbor offers her a cookie. She says no because they're raisin cookies and she wanted chocolate chip cookies. When she finally goes home to go celebrate Joel's birthday, they forgot to get a cake that's again uses flour in it. This family just gets saved nonstop by refusing the neighbors and forgetting about their cake.
Oh, cake.
And this is why, like, I don't think this is how this works at all. Changing your being able to adapt and live into a human body by a few degrees, that's one thing. But being able to survive the cooking process is a whole different thing.
So what my buddy did tell me, and I didn't actually notice that about the fire because he told me how it works in the game. Uh, from the game, the infection started from lettuce, apparently,
Okay.
which is why it
Lettuce is
started in the main cities.
lettuce makes sense. Lettuce could work because you don't usually cook lettuce.
Yeah, it's usually fresh, and then you throw it on whatever.
But from all the clues people were pointing out on episode 1 and in episode 2 they're talking again about the flour mill in Jakarta, India, I believe, when they're talking about bombing the whole city. It seems like they're going with the flour is like tainted.
Hmm.
And it was just hurting me. It was like, but you don't eat flour raw. You
Yeah,
usually
no one eats flour raw. It's usually put
you
under
bake
very
it at
unhealthy
like
heat.
400 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't see a reason for a mushroom to evolve the need to survive 400 degrees Fahrenheit and then go into a human, which is only about like 98 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a big change. That's more than just a few degrees difference.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So that was troubling. It was like, okay, I understand why you're going with flowers, you're going with the cordyceps, but I don't think cordyceps are that extremophiles. Well, they'll survive the baking process of a cookie or a biscuit or a cake. Now, the lettuce in the game that you just told me about, that makes a lot more sense, but it doesn't seem like that's what they're aiming for. It looks like they're doing something different.
Huh.
I haven't seen any clues for lettuce so far in the show.
I honestly haven't noticed. Now that you mentioned it with the flower thing, yeah, I've noticed that a lot. But I honestly didn't notice. I think it's just because my friend, like, before I actually even like thought about it, told me about the lettuce, so I just assumed, oh, that's probably what it was. So I didn't think anything about the flour. But yeah, when you mentioned flour, yeah, it's very because like through baking, through frying, through all of it, it doesn't really, you know. But I mean, I guess, ooh, yeah, no, because no one eats raw wheat, so it doesn't even matter.
Like, I don't know, maybe if you just like breathe in the wheat and then they bite someone, I guess that could work, but like, I don't know. But for this major infection, I feel like it has to be baked into something. It gets sold, and then people are getting affected, and it should be destroyed in the baking process. I don't think the fungus larvae or eggs are that extremophiles.
Yeah,
And then another question of mine, which is less important, but I was like, what is the fungus plan in all this?
just to survive, right?
Well,
Send them
like
boats.
funguses, cordyceps, they they grow in ants, they control the ants, and once they are ready to reproduce and make more fungus, they control the ants to find like a high location or something to get eaten by something bigger that inside them they reproduce, lay a bunch of eggs inside the stomach, and when that bird poops, it poops out the eggs in new locations.
Oh, maybe that'll be explained to us later on. I'm not really sure.
So the way, so it would make sense if the cordyceps are controlling the human beings, but then what? They're not reproducing in it because Unless I'm missing something entirely. What exactly is eating us that the cordyceps want to eat us?
Actually, he's quite the fungi expert. But maybe that. But to your point, maybe that's just something we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's something else out there. There's a Godzilla out there eating the fungus, and the
Or,
fungus are just gonna reproduce in the Godzilla.
or maybe like they reproduce in a different way now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess they're reproducing just by the biting and infecting more people, boy, which is
Yeah.
again a very big change evolutionary for them.
Yeah. Can they survive through winter?
Mm, I would say they probably can pretty well, especially if they're mentioned like it's underground a lot and also inside the human bodies. Like if they're keeping the human bodies alive and warm, it's still going to be a nice damp area even in winter.
That's fair. Hmm.
Obviously, if something happens that kills the human body host, because like again, they're not dead, they're hosts. Viruses, fungus, they don't want to kill their hosts. They want to keep it alive and just kind of manipulate them. So these beings are still alive. They should still have like a heartbeat, a pulse. They should still have some temperature to them till something happens to actually kills them off.
I guess this is a little off-putting because I see some of them take so many shots to the body that I'm just like, you should be dead.
I mean, I would imagine the cordyceps are doing the most of the controlling. They just need to do control, make sure like the major things are still fine.
That's fair.
Because like the cordyceps can wriggle, so like I imagine they can do some movements.
That's true. Mushrooms.
Okay, so aside from the mushrooms, what's going on in episode 1? I guess.
We see a lot of sad things actually.
Yeah, so I guess we already brought up they went to school, she came back, they did not have cake. They keep seeing things in the news. We see like police cars going places. Things are setting up to be bad.
A lot of phenomenal camera work is going on while this is happening. Um, which I think they were doing it to make it feel more like the video game. I'm gonna assume because it felt very video gamey. A lot of the angles they were using between these first two episodes.
Yeah. I guess the one of the major things I think we see a report about staying indoors, barricading yourself in your homes, don't going outside, and then we hear like a dog scratching at the door. And what does Sarah do? She goes open the fucking door.
Oh, that shit pissed me off. She's like, okay, come on, let's go to the house. And then the dog is refusing to go to the house. And whenever that happens, I feel like there was that. So the radio tells you not to go. The dog is telling you, no, don't go there. The door is wide open. You're like, oh, don't go there. Then you see a track of blood in the hallway. But, of course, when you see a track of blood in the hallway, you should investigate. Then you see this dude dying in the kitchen. And you're like, oh, let me just stand there. You turn around, of course, you see the grandma, and that's when you finally decide to run. But I was just like, there's like a few telltale signs that you should not go there.
Yeah. And she runs out. Joel's there. Joel bashes her head in. And it looks like the neighbors are mad. Like, what the fuck, Joel? What did you do that for? Like, are you paying attention to the news, buddy? Have you not listened to the news?
And then, of course, the neighbor gets taken.
Yeah, and they drive off without the dog, which I'm also kind of upset by.
Well, the dog ran off. What could you do?
Yeah. And they go driving. Everyone's out there on the road because everyone heard the news. They want to get out. They don't want to stay indoors.
I want to stay in the city.
Yeah. But they weren't even in the city. They're in the suburbs, and they were like driving towards the city, I feel like.
Yeah, they were in an attempt to they had to drive through the city to get out, I guess is what it was. To get to the countryside.
I feel like if you drive the other way, you'll find countryside.
Who knows?
But yeah, so they went driving. They get into a car accident, and
Now a plane crashes.
okay,
And I believe one of the a piece of shrapnel came and struck the car and it caused them to crash.
but yeah, that happened, and they get separate from the other guy. I forget his name.
Tommy.
Tommy. Okay, so they get separated. They try and meet up again at the river, where they meet an army guy who gets the orders to shoot them down. And Sarah does not survive this encounter.
Unfortunately, I was very sad. I was really hoping for that not to happen. I was like sitting on the edge of my seat the entire time there was a scene with Sarah because I was like, "Don't you dare let her die! Don't you let her die! Don't you let her die! Don't you let her die!" But I should just understand that whenever someone twists their ankle in any production ever, it means they're gonna die. So
Yeah, so Sarah's dead. Tommy and Joel are alive. They get back together, and then we get a 20-year time skip. And I guess they live in a quarantine city in Boston now. They went on a huge trek because I think they started off in Texas, right?
they did start in Texas. It's a huge trek.
But yeah, now they're in Boston in a quarantine city. He's like a smuggler or something, selling some pills or whatever he can find. And anything else to mention before we talk about Ellie?
Not really.
Okay, well, we meet Ellie, and Joel and Tess are hired to transport Ellie. It's like, we don't transfer humans. So, like, well, just transfer this one, guys. You're going to transfer this one.
Yeah. And then I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but not a lot of like noteworthy stuff.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of visual stuff and like character bonding slightly.
Maybe if Maya was here and she knows more stuff about the video game, she could tell us. Because like I'm sure the radio signals with like 80 songs will make more sense. But right now, I don't have a lot of information about that.
Yeah, I mean that was just code.
Yeah, but I also don't know 80s music like that to know what the code would be for the last song that played in this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get out of the city and they get met by the officer they Joel sold the pills to.
Yeah. And he gets weird flashbacks from him pointing the gun at.
Sarah and him.
So
And
he
this time he wasn't gonna let this happen with to another girl, so he jumps him,
and beats him to death.
beats him to death, and that's when they discover Ellie's infected, because the little scanner that tells people if they're infected or not goes off on her.
Yeah.
And that's the end of episode 1, I believe.
Yeah.
Episode 2, um, it's been a night. Um, she hasn't transformed into a monster or anything. They're kind of figuring out what's going on. Like, can we trust her that she's like immune or whatever? Because like she's infected, but she's not transforming or changing or anything. She tells her story. They're just gonna go with it. They're gonna keep transporting her, and they go on an adventure.
Yeah. You learn a little bit of how infected works. If you step on even like I don't even know what they call those. Not a root, but something else. The word is slipping me.
Uh, Tendril? You want to say tendril?
Sure, whatever. If you step on even like a tiny tendril, it alerts all of them and they will swarm you.
Yeah.
If it's live, of course.
Yeah. Which is something that does happen with funguses. The largest living organism in the world is, I believe, in the northwest of the US. I think it spans about 4 states. It's a single fungus that just kind of has grown outwards. I think it covers like Washington and the Dakotas and all those.
Wow.
So they can have a big, wide range.
So yeah, you step on it, it alerts all of them, and they'll swarm you. Uh, we're talking about ones that have been alive for 20 years, so forth, so forth. Uh, but yeah, they're basically just trying to get to this LZ, not LZ. They're trying to get to a rendezvous point, so they're going through the city. They see a museum that they have to cut through, and
Well, they see the path they wanted to take is very overrun by the mushroom fungus monsters. So they decide they're gonna go a different way through a museum, and so they go to the museum, and the museum, which used to be kind of dangerous, it looks like the fungus in there has kind of died off. So they go through there, where they discover someone who looks like recently died in there,
yeah,
and then they go all quiet, like, okay, we're going silent mode. That means silent, no talking, not quiet, silence. And we meet, and the silence only takes them so far before we meet like two blind monsters who, I guess, hunt by hearing.
it just felt interesting that they couldn't handle like two or three.
Yeah. First of all, they don't even have sight. Why not just like kill it real quick? Like just get up close, stab in the head. This is when you have like a machete or something, honestly, guys.
Yeah,
It can't see you. Easy. Bow and arrow, you don't need something that makes noise. If that's what they hear, if they hunt by hearing.
I think from a clip from the game, I do see that they Joel will use a bow and arrow every now and then and shit like that. So I mean, I don't know. It felt weird that they couldn't really handle like three of them.
For people who seem like they go out a lot and they do jobs outside, they should at least have other strategies to deal with things in case they have to be quiet.
But I mean, I don't know.
Like,
They did. Maybe they just didn't want to risk it at all of
mhm.
just like potentially getting bit. So
I mean, you're in a
uh,
museum. Can we find like little a lance or like an old school bayonet gun?
yeah. And maybe the idea is that you just don't want to accidentally alert the horde outside. I guess.
Yeah, I was also thinking like, unlike a zombie movie, if you kill one, if they're all connected, even if it dies, they all know where you are, right?
I would assume so.
But like, someone was there and now they're dead. Let's go over there. But like, they got found out anyway, so your
Yeah,
options are be really sneaky or just take care of this and get out of there as fast as possible.
because Ellie breathed hard. I guess
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Ha," and then the attack ensues to a pretty cool, attack sequence. It did have me on my edge of my toes for a bit. Once Tess was separated from everyone, I just assumed that she got bit. So um, it's what ends up happening. There's a little chase. They get around. They end up killing all of them. Uh, and escape through the window, and you can see Tess is noticeably agitated from that point on.
Yeah. We also see that Ellie got bitten again, but again, she feels fine.
And nothing happened.
They get to the rendezvous point, and there's a lot of blood.
Dead people.
Dead people. We find out like one of them got bit, and then became a fight between the sick and the healthy, and no one won.
How that happens, I don't know. But
It's because people don't honor the first rule of zombie movies. If you get bit, tell someone.
even beyond that, I just don't understand how no one won. It's like one guy got infected and he infected like again, like it's just confusing for me because like what like you're dealing with one infected, I feel like it's a lot easier to handle than a horde.
Mm-hmm. Like,
And I
how
just
fast do you get infected? Because like it's taking tests a while. So it's not like he gets infected, he bites someone, that person turns immediately.
Like, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know that all like those parts to me. Like I said, it's just dealing with like a horde and dealing with like an individual one just seems weird. But I mean, regardless, it still flows well. It doesn't really take away from the show for me. It's just confusing for me, I guess, with in those
Yeah.
situations. But yeah, so
You see Tess
everyone is
getting more
dead.
agitated and agitated because like no one's there. She can't find a map to where the next location to bring Ellie because she's really banking on Ellie being a cure because now she's infected.
Yep.
I don't know what her thought process is because even if how long does it take to infect someone? Because like, does she think she'll survive taking her to the next step or them like making a cure? Because it's gonna take a while. Even if they get Ellie and they like use her like blood cells and everything, mRNA or whatever, to try and make a vaccine, it's gonna take a while.
I mean, maybe her idea is that they'll like isolate her and keep her contained
Maybe.
until because she's still technically alive while infected, right? Or while taking over.
I, I mean, I don't even know if you can turn them back because, like, are these cordyceps like drilling through stuff, bones or tissues or anything, to help control the body?
I don't really know. If she did turn back, it would be very crippled. So
Yeah, but
yeah, the horde gets alerted somehow. I think what they stepped on one that wasn't quite all the way dead.
yeah,
So the horde comes in. Tess tells Joel to take Ellie and go, and she
she starts pouring gasoline and lighter fluid everywhere.
gets ready to light it. Joel and Ellie escape, and then she gets tongue kissed by a mushroom and blows the building up.
I was like, why? Is it just like speeding up the process by passing on its cordyceps into her?
Maybe.
This is like the worst way to die.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, poor Tess." I can't you just shoot the freaking gasoline for the same effect as lighting it with a lighter?
I don't know. It really depends if you can make a spark off the ground, I guess. I don't know if the bullet impact alone will do it, unless it also creates a spark.
That's fair.
But I guess that's it. That's all we got for episode 2 and episode 1, right?
Yeah.
How are we feeling about it so far?
I mean, I love this series.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I have some questions, but like I'm not letting it ruin it like Avatar. All my questions about Avatar.
The Avatar movie.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the Blue People movie.
Okay. The first or second?
Well, I've only seen the first one. I only seen like
Okay.
half of the first one.
Fair enough. I haven't seen any of either, so I'm not making any arguments for it or anything. But yeah, no, like I said, it's like certain things, but nothing like it's like the typical questions I have in those type of genre things. Um, I like the series. The acting is good. The camera work is good. They know how to actually play to the suspense, which I feel like a lot of these zombie flicks don't have anymore. And it was just nice to it's nice to watch. It feels good to have good TV. I feel like it's been a while since I've had this good TV.
Okay. Like, when was have I been watching anything good? I'm watching this. I'm watching that '90s show, but that's like something I have on the background when I have nothing else to do. This has been a while since we have like something good.
Like just genuinely good TV. House of the Dragon.
But that was a while ago, right? It feels like a while ago.
It felt like forever ago. Yeah.
I think right now I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, but it's a very strong 8 out of 10, like almost like 8.8 out of 10.
Yeah. Maybe if I played The Last of Us, I would give it like a 9, because then it would get the big faithful adaptation. Bonus, but I'd give it probably just like a high 8, like an 8.7, 8.6.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's our review of The Last of Us. We'll be back next week for episode 3 of The Last of Us. Hopefully, the Super Sons, if Jeff watches it.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it today.
All right. Till next time. Adios. Also, before we go, do you want to go through the anime awards? Because apparently voting ends tomorrow.
Sure.
All right. So I already voted, but you can vote like different days. So let's have your vote go in.
All right. I mean, I probably know none of these,
It's
but
okay.
I know some, but maybe the ones that I really like don't appear.
All right. Start with anime of the year. Your options are Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2,
No.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer District Art, Ranking the Kings Core 2, Lycanus Recoil, or Spy Family.
Also, on a random note, since you just said it, I think it's BS that the final season of Attack on Titan has been split up into 4 parts.
It was like Attack on Titan Final Season Part blah. I was like, okay, first of all,
Y'all are
why are you
really
naming
milking
Final
this
Season?
series. Really milking this series. But I probably for me, Spy Family.
Spy Family's your anime
I
of the year?
I
Okay.
did enjoy Edge Runners, but Spy Family really is just. And I'm
I
not even
didn't watch
finished with it.
Cyberpunk. I've never heard about Lycanus Recoil.
I heard Ranking the
Um,
Kids is good, but Ranking of the Kings is good, but I didn't watch it. And the
it's
Demon
really
Slayer,
good. You should watch it.
you know, so I haven't watched Demon Slayer either. But Spy Family has been one of my favorite series so far. So of the anime I've been watching,
All right, best original anime. You got Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story. You got Healer Girl. You got Licorice Recoil. You got The Orbital Children. You got The Vampire in the Garden or Yuri Deko.
I don't know not one of these things.
I only watch Vampire in the Garden on Netflix.
I'm gonna say Vampire in the Garden. It's
Okay.
got vampires, so I'm sure it's good. Is it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a very good one. All right, best character design. Akira Matsushima from Ufotable. Asaku Nozaki, Wit Studios, Ranking of the Kings. Kazuki Shimanada, Wit Studio and Cloverworks, Spy Family. Kazumasa Ishida, Cloverworks, with My Dress Up Darling. Masanori Shino, David Production for JoJo Stone Ocean. Or Yo Yoshinari for Trigger, working on Cyberpunk.
You said JoJo Stow Ocean. I guess I would go with that because that's like the more unique
Okay,
stuff to
best
me.
character designs from them.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have said Spy Family because I do like the character designs in Spy Family. Um,
All right, best animation. Akibi's Sailor Uniform. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Demon Slayer. Kimetsu no Yaba Entertainment District Arc. Ranking the Kings Court 2 or Spy Family.
Probably Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. I went with Attack on Titan. I went with Demon Slayer. The animation for that fight was incredible.
I would say Cyberpunk because that animation is a trip.
I didn't watch it, so I couldn't vote for it. So, best new series: Call of the Night, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Licorice Recoil, My Dress Up Darling, Spy Family, or Ya Boy Coming.
Probably Spy Family.
Okay, I think I went with Spy Family too. Best continuing series: Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaba Entertainment District Arc, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Stone Ocean, Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic, Made in the Abyss The Golden City of the Scorching Sun, or One Piece.
One Piece.
Okay.
One Piece is in their bag right now. I've been seeing they're doing their thing right now.
I went with Demon Slayer, I think, for this one. Best opening sequence: Chiki Chiki Bon Bon from Ya Boy Kunming, Mixed Nuts from Spy Family, Naked Hero from Ranking the Kings Court 2, The Rumbling from Attack on Titan, This Fire from Cyberpunk, or Zako Saka from Demon Slayer?
I don't know. Mixed nuts.
Mixed nuts. I went with Chicky Chicky Bon Bon. Best ending sequence. Komo no Koi from Attack on Titan. Comedy from Spy Family. Ko no Yuki from My Dress Up Darling. Goshibirion from Komi Can't Communicate. My Heart Has Surrendered from Kaguya Sama Love is War. Or Yokoshina Uta with Call of the Night.
Go for the one from Call Me Can't Communicate, just because I enjoy it.
Okay. I don't think I remember what the ending was for that one, honestly. I went with the Spy Family one, I think. Best score. Spy Family, Cyberpunk, Ya Boy Coming, Attack on Titan, Made in the Abyss, or Demon Slayer.
Probably, I don't know. Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer? Okay, I went with Ya Boy Coming.
I haven't seen your boy comics. I don't
It's a
know.
really good music anime.
So it probably would have been that one.
Best film, Bubble, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Ino O, Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, One Piece, Film Red, or The Deer King.
Damn, this is actually a tough one. So I've actually seen two of these movies, but I've heard amazing things about one of these movies. So based off the two I've seen, I would probably say Jujutsu Kaisen Zero.
Okay.
But if I had seen Film Red, I probably would have said Film Red.
I went with Dragon Ball Super Superhero. I've heard amazing things for Bubble, but I just haven't seen Bubble.
Hey, that's not my vote.
Oh, well, my bad. I forgot. Well,
well.
moving on.
How dare you?
Where were we again?
We just did best film.
Okay. Okay. Best anime song, I guess. Okay. Chicky Chicky Bon Bon from Ya Boy Kunming. Comedy from Spy Family. My Nonfiction from Kaguya-sama Love is War. Shall We Dance from, I don't even know what this is. The Rumbling from Attack on Titan. Or New Genesis, Uta from One Piece Film Red.
What is this Chicky Chicky Bon Bon thing? Hold on, bro. What's the anime called?
Ya Boy Kunming.
Oh, it's this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't been doing this joint justice. Yeah, Chicky Chicky Bon Bon. I have not been doing this joint justice, and I apologize for my prior votes. I forgot it was that. That Chicky Chicky Bon Bon.
You saw this all over the internet, didn't you?
I did, man. Oh my god.
Well, you haven't watched the anime? Like I saw that everywhere, so I finally checked it out. It was a great anime.
I have not seen the anime, unfortunately. And now I feel like I need to. I feel like I'm actually trying to keep up with anime this year.
All right, best director. Would it be from Demon Slayer, Cyberpunk, Spy Family, Licorice Recoil, Ranking the Kings, or Attack on Titan?
Well, I'm gonna say Cyberpunk because it like literally rebirthed the whole game. So the game like flopped tremendously.
All right, best main character. Boji from Ranking the Kings, Chisato Nishiki from Licorice Recoil, David Martinez from Cyberpunk, Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, Lloyd Forger from Spy Family, or Marine Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling.
Ooh, it's between David and Lloyd.
Is Lloyd even the main character?
He's a main character. He's the first one we're introduced to.
Okay.
Uh, Ooh, that's a tough one. Between Lloyd and David.
I went with Boji, honestly. It's like I don't know if Lloyd can. I should count Lloyd as a main character.
Then I would go with David.
Best supporting character. I
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Sorry,
Okay.
I don't even have to think about it. Rebecca, 1,000 times.
Must protect at all costs. Anya Forger, Boji, Kagi, Kotaro Sato, Marine Kitagawa, or Shoko Komi.
Definitely Anya.
Protecting Anya. I'm protecting Kotaro. Have you seen Kotaro Lives Alone on Netflix? This kid has been through a lot.
I have not seen that.
It will make you cry, Jeff.
Oh, I believe it.
Best action. Attack on Titan, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Demon Slayer, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, Licorice Recoil, or Spy Family.
Cyberpunk.
Better than Demon Slayer, the action?
I didn't watch Demon Slayer
Oh.
season 2.
Best comedy. Kaguya-sama Love is War, Ultra Romantic, Kotaro Lives Alone, Spy Family, My Dress Up Darling, Uncle from Another World, or Ya Boy Coming.
Spy Family is the only one of these I've seen, so I'm gonna say Spy
First of
Family.
all, who decided to put Kotaro Lives Alone on their comedy? What about this is funny? This is like the saddest thing I've ever watched. You said Spy Family?
Yeah.
Best Drama. 8686 Part 2. Attack on Titan. Cyberpunk. Dance Dance and Shore. Kotaro Lives Alone, or Made in the Abyss, the golden city of the scorching sun.
Cyberpunk, I guess. I've heard good things about 86.
Best Fantasy. Demon Slayer. Made in the Abyss. Overlord 4. Moshoko Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 1 Part 2. Ranking the Kings, or the Case Study of Vignetta's Core 2.
Moshoko Tensei.
Okay.
I was actually surprised I didn't see that on the list more.
Best Romance. Call of the Night. Kaguya-sama Love is War. Love After World Domination. Komi Can't Communicate, second series. My Dress Up Darling, or Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie.
I'm just gonna go with Komi Can't Communicate. Though I haven't seen any of these seasons.
Love is War is pretty good. It's pretty fun. It's about Power Rangers. Best Voice Artist Performance. Atsumi Tanizaki, Chika Azai, Faruz Ai, Misaki Ko, Yoki Kaji, or Natsuki Hane.
I'm just gonna go with the Spy Family one.
Okay, we're going with Anya.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Best Voice Performance for English. Amanda Lee or Amelie for My Dress Up Darling. Chermei Lee, Kotaro Leaves Alone. Sung Woon Chu for Ranking the Kings. Natalie Van Sistine from Spy Family. Zach Aguilar for Cyberpunk. Or Zeno Robinson in Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Who did he play in Dragon Ball Super Superhero?
Android 2? Gamma 2?
Ooh, I'm probably still gonna go with Zach Aguilar.
Okay. I think we went with this one because this is the only one I think I watch in English. All right, anime of the year. We already did this, right? We're back. We just did a full circle.
Yeah, I think we want to do a full circle.
All right. Well, that's it.
I know people are gonna be. I know most people would not like the choices I made, but hey, I didn't watch enough anime throughout 2022. I'm gonna try to watch more anime through 2023.
You should definitely watch Your Boy Coming. The Ranking of the Kings is also great, and Kotaro Lives Alone when you are ready to cry.
Sounds good.
Okay. But that's our show for this week. We'll be back Sunday.
Yes.
We don't have anything. Do we just have the Super Sons to talk about on Sunday then?
And Last of Us.
No, we just talked about The Last of Us. The third episode won't come until after our podcast.
Well, maybe there'll be news and we can have a discussion or something.
Okay. All right. We'll be back for Super Sons. We'll maybe have a discussion. We'll see. All right. Till next time, everyone. Adios. I forgot we were gonna have a lasso, so we just talked about it.
I completely forgot as well.